I've never been to Scotland before, so this is completely new to me.
This was his first job in Scotland, and it did not go how he expected.
Hiya, got a delivery order?
No, so you just need to go, if you go right,
Yep.
it's the second door on the right.
Press them both. Oh, hi mate, sorry, it's my first time picking up here. I think I got 2 orders, amazing. First official order in Edinburgh picked up, and we have a 4-minute journey to the customer. Not bad at all. It's always kind of difficult trying to read maps in places you've never been before. I think it's sending me down this way. We had a 50-50 chance. Yes, we got it correct. When I was driving in here tonight, there was a lot of people on the streets. A lot of people looked like they were going out, so I think it's going to be a very busy night for us. I've heard that Scotland is quite hilly, so I wanted to bring a bike with me that's capable of handling that.
He's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy, but it's obvious that he doesn't know he doesn't know anything about Scotland. Keep an eye on that, okay? See if you notice anything.
Where are we going? Oh, look, is that the castle up there? I think that's the castle. Oh, that's cool. It's like glowing red up there. I had a bit of a checklist in my mind of things I wanted to see, and that was the main one, so there we go. That was easy. First customer is so close as well. They're only 2 minutes down the road. There we go. Go, mate. Yeah, not bad. It's all right. It's a bit of a workout getting up here.
So workout is exercise. It's a bit of exercise. It's a bit of a workout.
There's 1 bag. You got more than 1 bag though. That one as well.
Perfect, then. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Enjoy. Oh, there we go. First order dropped off. You guys lied to me.
To drop off. So pick up something and to drop off. So especially if you're delivering, like this guy, he's the delivery driver, he will pick up an order and he will drop it off in a place.
All my Scottish viewers that asked me to come to Scotland said, oh, can't believe you go up to the apartments in London. We never do that here in Scotland. We always come down.
Bullshit.
Liars.
I agree with him. I've never seen anybody go down to collect an order.
Absolute liars. So I completely forgot to bring a bike lock with me. So we're gonna have to rely on a wish and a prayer today that the bike doesn't get stolen while we're doing deliveries. Apparently Scottish people are nice, so if that's true, it won't be a problem. Oh, cute are these little streets though. Wait, we're not meant to go this way. The delivery's the other way, but I just wanted to quickly show you. Look at that. I think that's Edinburgh Castle up there. That is like picturesque. Oh, I just feel so warm and cozy. Oh my God, look at this even bigger Christmas tree. I feel like a child right now. Oh my God, look at that Christmas. Oh my God, there's a huge Christmas market over there. Look at that. Oh, that's got my name written all over it after this video.
Oh, that's a good expression. Okay, go back.
Look at that. Oh, that's got my name written all over it after this.
That's got my name written all over it. Is a way to say that that is for me. I like that. It's mine. It's mine. It has my name on it. By the way, if you like this style of learning, I share full unedited versions of these lessons and some of my crazier experiments in my free community. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description.
Anyway, second customer is 7 minutes away, 1.5 miles. So I've got a bit of downhill, picking up some speed. Could I say this is nicer than London's Christmas lights? Potentially. These are so beautiful. Look at how they wrap around the columns on that building. That is amazing. Got a good feeling about tonight. The weather's actually holding up pretty decently as well. I think it's about 8 degrees at the moment. And when I was in London yesterday, it was like -1. And it was snowing. I thought when you come up north it's meant to be even colder, but the opposite apparently. It doesn't look quite as inviting going this way. I think we're going away from the city centre. There's just darkness in the distance. The only thing I'm thinking right now is I'm going downhill quite a lot. So to come back to the centre, we're going to have to do a lot of uphill work, but it is what it is. It'll be a good test for this bike.
It is what it is. Really good expression. It is what it is. We can't change it. We just have to accept it. In Spanish, you could say, es lo que hay. Es lo que hay. It is what it is.
Ah, right. It wants me to go down here. This looks dodgy.
This looks dodgy.
Is
dodgy is like dodgy, potentially dangerous. Very British. This is a very British term. Risky. Risky, hazardous. Yeah. Potentially dangerous.
Probably lovely, but at night when you can hardly see anything, it's a little bit more terrifying. This way, I think. We've got our light on as well. Actually, not going to lie, I completely forgot to turn the light on. Oh, look at this tunnel. This looks like the Harry Potter tunnel a little bit, doesn't it? No, it looks nothing like the Harry Potter tunnel, actually. It says to call this one or press this one, and they'll buzz me in. And there we go. Buildings in Scotland are weird.
That's quite a typical, we call that a close. So where he is, the stairs, the interior part before you go into the house is called the close in Scotland, and this is a very typical style of building in the cities in Scotland.
I don't know which one it is. I don't want to press the wrong door. Hiya, is this number 3?
Yes.
Notice what he said. He didn't say hi. He didn't say hello. He said hiya, hiya. That's such a common way to say hello to someone. You probably hear this more than the other alternatives. Hiya. Especially if it's somebody you don't really know. If you go into a shop, in this case, if you're delivering to a stranger, hiya.
That as well. Careful, that's heavy.
Thank you.
Got it? Enjoy. Scotland, what are you doing to me? Oh my God, huge order coming in now for £10. But that is...
What's that? Just under 12 euros. Slightly under 12 euros.
I don't even know where that is. That's the city centre here. It looks nowhere near that. So we'll decline that for now. But yeah, man, you guys lied to me. Second order. Why did both of them have to be on the top floor? Ridiculous. Anyway, la bla bla Duoro. Let's take it. 7:33. Double order. Hopefully the bike is still there. The buildings are so interesting when you go inside though. They don't seem like apartment buildings. They almost seem like old pub entrances or something. Because on the outside, they look very similar to some of the buildings in London, but then on the inside, architecturally, it's so different. Very fascinating. How far have we got to this restaurant? 4 minutes, okay. Oh, it's a fish and chip shop. You would not guess that by the name.
Also known as a chippy. Or in some parts of Scotland, I think it's called a chipper. I think in Aberdeen, they might call it a chipper, but it's a chippy.
Heard that Scotland invented the deep fried Mars bar, so I definitely...
Okay, there's the first thing. Every English person, if they know nothing about Scotland, they have some kind of stereotype in their mind, and there's always some mention about a deep fried Mars bar. I don't know any Scottish person who's ever eaten a deep fried Mars bar. So it's some kind of modern myth. It exists, it happened. I think it was a Norwegian man. In Norway, they deep fry chocolate. He took a Mars bar to a chippy and he said, I'd like to try this, can you deep fry it? And then it started a small trend. It's become a bit of a modern or urban myth. It's not something I've ever tried. I don't know anybody who's tried it, but it's always something English people talk about Scotland.
Good, thanks. Got 2 orders.
Just pack them up, it'll be like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. I have to say though, so far, every single person I've interacted with has been so nice. Bit hard to get past the accent sometimes, but once I do, they're very lovely and very nice. On the sign back there, it said, are we fish and chips?
I don't think you'll have problems with people in Edinburgh. The accent in Edinburgh is not going to be a big problem. If he goes to Glasgow, that's where things get difficult. So if you are thinking about a trip to Scotland, you'll probably be fine in Edinburgh in terms of understanding. Or if you watch this channel, you'll be a pro. You'll be a pro with all of these accents.
Chips. Are we fish and chips, laddie? I am so sorry, lads. I'll stop doing the accent. I can't do accents. That's gone almost Indian. I promise.
I thought my accents were bad. God, that's terrible.
It's not to do any more accents this video. I did see though when I was looking how far this customer is, and they're only 4 minutes away, we're getting a £3 tip on top of this.
The tip is just the money that the customer decides, oh, I'm going to give you this extra money. Very, very common in America, they do this. In Europe, less common. In the UK, we do sometimes, but it's more, there's no particular rule or obligation, but it's just if you feel generous, you give somebody a tip.
I've got a bit of a theory because I feel like Scotland is quite an old city. A lot of the buildings are probably older.
Do you mean Edinburgh? You mean Edinburgh's quite an old city?
Man, are they older than London? I don't know. I'm terrible with history. I didn't really look into this. It's really hard to see which number each flat is because it's very dark. I think this one is us. Hi mate, thank you for the tip by the way.
That's all right. That's all right, not that's right. That's all right.
61, thank you.
Sure, grab.
That's great, cheers.
Thank you, I forgot the number already.
That's great. Cheers. Not nice creatures. I'm listening here. That's an Edinburgh accent. Very clear, in my opinion. But the subtitles went, what is this? He said, that's great. Cheers. Cheers is another way to say thanks. That's great. Cheers.
2, 1. That was yours.
Excellent, that's great, cheers.
Thank you, I forgot the number already.
61.
61, thank you. What a really nice customer that was as well. Oh my God. No way. We've got a £5 tip on this next one. You're
Nice.
joking. You're actually joking. We've just been paid £8 in tips on this order. I might need to relocate up to Edinburgh. Anyone know?
That reminds me. I used to, when I was a kid, when I was 12 years old, I worked for 3.5 years as a newspaper delivery boy. So I had to wake up early in the morning, very similar to this, on a bike, often in the dark, in the cold. And I don't think I ever received a tip and I was living in England. I was living in the south of England and in a place where people had enough money to be generous. People lived well. I don't think I ever received a tip. And I used to hear about boys my age or my cousins who did the job in Scotland, or they did it in a town that didn't have a lot of money, but they received huge tips. Like Christmas, they made a fortune. So I was very jealous about this, the tips that they got in Glasgow. So he's discovering that. He's discovering that he's getting more tips, in Edinburgh.
Maybe they'll pay for my hotel themselves. I don't know if it's a Scottish tradition to tip or not. Obviously, down in London and England, it's not really a thing to tip. Some people do very occasionally, and it's always appreciated when they do, but it's not part of the culture like it is in places like America. But Scotland, my first time here, I have no idea what the culture is when it comes to tipping. I guess we'll find out. Hey mate, you're right. Good, thank you. Thank you for the tip, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
There you are.
You need a number?
I do, yes.
59.
59. Amazing. Enjoy.
Thanks very much. Have a good one.
You too. Oh my God, that guy was...
Have a good one. Have a good night. He's probably meaning have a good day, have a good night, have a good shift, have a good one.
lovely as well. And the streets are pretty much exactly like London. We just become Edinburgh Hustle instead. Get another order here from the Fat Hippo. I like the name of that, so I'm taking it. I have no idea what I was expecting coming up to Edinburgh. I'm one of those people that never really researches or looks into a place before I go. Kind of like jumping in at the deep end and learning and figure things out when I'm there. But yeah, I didn't really have any expectations coming to Edinburgh, but this is far superior to what I could have imagined. It's basically London, isn't it? Like, it's a bit more of a beautiful London where everyone's friendly. Sorry.
It's all good. What number
It's
you
called tonight. 6662.
That's a bit ominous, isn't it?
Yeah, devil's number.
There you go.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Like the staff even crack jokes and things. It's amazing. Look at this. Customer, 1 minute away. They're probably not even a minute away. They're literally down this hill. And this double order is actually paying me £9.20 in total. So you haven't seen how far the second customer is yet, but I think that's quite generous considering the first one is only a minute away. 1516. No, that's not the right flat. No, that's not the right one.
Hello?
Hiya, it's your delivery driver. I'm just outside.
Hi, I can't see you.
I might not be outside the right place then.
Do you see Jack? He's just standing outside right now. Guy with the grey jumper on.
Grey jumper.
It's American spelling. British spelling is G-R-E-Y.
I do not.
Jumper. This is a jumper. You could call it a sweater, a jersey maybe, but jumper is the most common British word.
Guys, you can't see him, honey. Let me come out. Do you know what? Have you went off the pin? Because the pin goes down to North Cumberland Street. We're further up the hill. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Okay, I'm riding down now. Hopefully you see me in a second.
Into the
Oh,
Netherlands.
what?
I see ya.
Oh, there you are. Right, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, that was fun. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, literally.
Is it your first day? No subtitles. Is that your first day in Edinburgh?
It's probably me putting it in wrong.
It's hard to find addresses in the city centre.
Yeah, to be fair, there's like a 15 just round the corner, so it was really confusing.
Right, okay, sorry.
No, it's all good.
What are you up to? You just moved here.
What are you up to? What are you doing? What's you up to? What are you doing?
For the weekends, I usually work down in London, but I just thought, come up, make a bit of extra cash, why not?
Sit in the back.
There you
Thank
are.
you very much.
You're welcome. Can I just scan the receipt?
Yeah.
Oh God, sorry about this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Lovely.
You got that as well.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Oh, thank you.
Enjoy your food. Oh, I forgot the code. Oh no, sorry, there's 2-digit code you should have.
Oh, that'll be on her phone.
24. Thank you so much. Sorry for the trouble. Oh my God, that was super embarrassing. Oh, they were so lovely. Do you see what I mean about the people here? Like, so friendly. In London, I've done that before where they've put the wrong pin and the customers just get grumpy at you. But here, they just...
London's full of cunts. Let's just say it. Scotland, there's a noticeable difference. And I would also say the north of England is also more similar to Scotland in this sense. Just people are a bit friendlier, a bit more open to normal communication.
Answered the phone, they came outside, stood in the street, waited for me, told me exactly where to go. Really understanding, really friendly. They were asking me like, oh, were you in Edinburgh? Because I was like, it's my first day. And they were asking if I was moved here. But it's just little things like that that just make a city. I'm a bit worried I'm coming off a bit too excited in this video. Oh my God, I can hear bagpipes. I'm going towards the bagpipes. I'm not supposed to go this way, but I heard bagpipes. Oh my God, they're in kilts and everything. Is this for me? Is this like a real welcome? The bagpipes are calling. The only time I've ever heard bagpipes in my life is going across the London Bridge. That guy that stands there playing the bagpipes, and let me tell you, these guys sound way better.
If you enjoyed that, let me know. If you understood it, let me know. And I will see you in the next video.